What's going on, YouTube? This is Pelfrey, and this is the Red Sea Reefer 250. And this goes without saying that all good things must come to an end, and I gotta get rid of the tank because tearing up the flooring. I'm actually not going to get rid of the tank. I'm keeping the tank. I'm dreading moving the tank. My objective is the equipment cabinet, since it's separate, that's going to be a whole different issue, but drain it down, hopefully get a couple people over here and we'll just move it, and then get the new flooring down and then move it back. But I get that anytime you do anything like this, it can cause stress on everything, the whole ecosystem. But my plan is to go from this area here, which I've already got all of the flooring here pulled up, get the tank moved from here to here, which is just a few feet away. So, you know, it's still going to take some time. I mean, you know, I suspect 4 or 5 hours just to get it drained down and get a couple people over here to help me move the tank. But I've got all the flooring up here. I need to get it out of the closet still. But yeah, I have this one section of flooring that I need to get up, and then I can get the tank moved. So I'm really not looking forward to it because, again, the tank is doing pretty well. Over the course of the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years that I've had the tank, this very well may be the best that the tank has ever been. You know, I haven't, knock on wood, lost any corals in a while. Everything seems to be happy. I've not had any bleaching or anything like that going on with the corals and the tank itself, and I attribute that to I've just left it alone. And I am working from home, and I am looking at the tank and I'm like, what can I do next? What can I do next? And I am just trying to leave everything alone now. I did take all of these pieces off. If you're not familiar, these screens here come off of the overflow box, and I took the return nozzle off because it was just, all of it was just covered in algae. My phosphates were like 58 point, no, I'm sorry, not 58. They were like 17 on the phosphorus checker, which equates to 0.058. And my nitrates were like between 4 and 5, something like that. So I don't know where this is coming from. I haven't changed the light schedule. I did increase the intensity by 2%, but everything else has just been, you know, left alone. I am feeding the tank a frozen cube 3 times a week. Otherwise, it's getting fed twice a day by the auto feeder. And this last time I did put some Reef in the auto feeder, and that very well could be one of the underlying issues that I have going on. And I do have some algae here, and I just went ahead and left the Tunze scraper in here because I am scraping the glass a lot more frequently than I would really like to. And you can see that that top rock right there has, you know, some algae on it, and it does look like some diatoms, but, you know, truth be told, this carrot sea life rock has been in the tank for a while now. So, you know, your guess is as good as mine. See what I'm talking about with this film here? So I cleaned the glass like 2 days ago. But anyway, this is about the flooring project and the tank move. So I have been using an oscillating tool. This is it's a cheap one. Porter cable with a towel blade on here, and you can see it's really taking a beating. But we had 1, 2, 3, 4 towel in here, and I've got the floor pretty clean. Now, as you can see, I'm working on getting the towel out from underneath the fireplace and the trim without hurting as much of the trim as possible. So a 3-pound sledgehammer. I'm trying to get some of the grout out underneath the towel now that I'm so close to everything. Using the sledgehammer and a pick and a screwdriver, just trying to pull it all out of there. And this is messy. This is messy. We've got a couple slats of the new flooring in here that's going to go in the house. A lot going on. So we're actually, here's another slat because we want to see how it's going to transition into the kitchen. And we go out to the garage. And we got floor. This was 3 pallets of flooring. So yeah, we got our work cut out for us for sure. But we've managed to get by this long with some home projects and whatnot. So I don't see why we can't get this one knocked out now. I don't know if we're gonna keep the moisture barrier here because with this new flooring, it's not required. It is nice because it does pull it up a little bit against the paneling. But we are gonna have to remove at least the bottom part of it, the quarter part of it, and drop it down once we start getting the floor in. But as far as the flooring is concerned, I still have the tank here on the floor. I've got this closet pulled out, and I need to pull the flooring out of this closet here. So moving along, moving along. I think we're gonna do a straight line here, all the way back to the door, and then work our way back this way. And then once we kind of get a little bit better at it and the hang of it, then I will move the tank to the new flooring over here, and then the tank will be moved back after we get the new flooring put down. So stay tuned, folks. There's a lot going on. It's been a long day, but got all the flooring up around the tank except for what's under the tank. Got the concrete cleaned up. Hopefully we can start laying the floor. Now this is just a trowel. Now this is 7 planks, but the objective is to start like this, move our way over, and again move the tank here, and then move the tank back over here. But may actually move it up this way a little bit, and I may cut some of that blue moisture stuff off. But concrete. Got the baseboards up today. Got all of the tile out. There used to be 4 tile here. Got all the grout out. Paid super close attention to the trim around the fireplace. It's been a day. Definitely not cut out for this type of work, but I can do it. I'm gonna do it. Stay tuned for more. Quick floor update. So I've spent way too much time getting the grout out from underneath the mantle here. But I got all the grout out. I got all the tile out. The tile was just stuck up under the mantle. And I managed to get this piece cut so that it'll snap in, slide under the drywall, go into the mantle, go into the rest of the tile, and then butt up with the fireplace. And I don't know if I can get it. There we go. It's not the straightest cut. I could come back and cut that off a little bit more, but I probably won't even mess with it. We still got a long way to go, folks, but the tank move is still gonna happen. Just not sure when. 2 of these little fellas gonna end up down here in the Refugium section. Come on, guys. There you go. Today is the day. So as you can see, I got the equipment cabinet moved, the bare essentials down here, return pump, one-wave maker, auto top off, and a heater. My plan is to pull it out from away from the wall. Already got the light bar off of it. I'm gonna pull it away from the wall, and if I have to run an extension cord to power the tank up to get heat, water circulation, and all that good stuff to it, then that's it. But the tank looks pretty good without the equipment cabinet next to it. But if it wasn't for a battery backup, I would not. I would just throw everything into the cabinet since it's super simple. But I mean, take 20 minutes. It took me about 20 minutes to pull all the wires and everything out of it. Couldn't imagine if I had a bigger tank or more gadgets at this point. So stay tuned. Obviously, I got the tank moved. It wasn't bad. Again, it's a 3-foot tank, but I drained the water down to about here on the tank, so about 2 inches. And then I drained as much water out of the sump that I could. And then I tried to lift the tank up at an angle so that I can get furniture sliders underneath it, and it just didn't work out that way. So luckily, this tank stand is off the ground a little bit. That's just how Red Sea built it. Let's see. I can't get my camera down there, but you can see almost through the other side. But anyway, the good thing also is that, excuse me here, the back of the stand is open, so it gives you somewhere to grab onto. But basically I just walked it out of here, like picked up a corner and slid it, picked up a corner and slid it. Got some holes patched where I had a board mounted there that I used to have controllers on, and I am going to paint the wall, but for now, working on getting the flooring in here, and I may just put the tank, have it set out a little further because we're going to get new baseboards anyway. But for the time being, depending on how quick this putty dries, it's not my best work in the world, but I'm in a hurry, so whatever. I may just keep the tank out a couple more inches so that I can get that sanded and painted. So, but yeah, moving the tank wasn't so bad. No lights for the day, but I do have a heater going, wave maker, return pump, and my auto top off container. So I get asked this quite often, and my light bar is simply 80/20 extruded aluminum mounted to a 1x4 board, and it's double-side taped, just a little bit of double-side tape to the stand. I don't have to drill any holes. It's easily removable, and and that was the goal here, was make this easy. And again, I've done a whole video on this previously, but still to this date, I get asked about my light stand, and it's simple, folks. And especially with the Radions, they don't weigh very much. It holds them just fine. And the good thing about the 80/20 is it is height adjustable, so you can adjust the height of the 80/20 by loosening the bolts down there on the 1x4. But yeah, it's a simple process, and it just simply works. And again, it's not bolted to the stand, so it's easily removable. Anything bolted to the back of the stand, once this tank's in place, is not going to be fun to remove if and when you ever do have to remove it. I went with a 48-inch piece of 80/20 because anything longer is more expensive. Got the tank back in its new location, or its same location, but with new floor under it. I didn't record the whole process of moving it out or back just because it's stressful on me, it's stressful on the animals in the tank. I got kids running around, there's a lot going on. I got buckets of water everywhere. And for anybody that makes videos and does a lot of editing, unlike me, I'm a point and shoot type of person, you can understand that to record this process would have taken another hour or two, and it just wasn't worth it to me. Now the tank did sit here for about 48 hours, and it did have the heater, one wave maker, return pump, and I did turn the Kalk washer back on, and the auto top off. So whenever I went to set the tank back up in this location, what I did differently this time, because you learn something, hopefully you learn something new every time, but this jug was out of the stand before. My auto top off only had like 2 gallons in it, and I actually took out all the rock here, and there's a decent amount of rock in this section here, and I took all the rock out. I took the chaeto morpha out, and I drained the sump down to about 1 inch also. And it made it so much easier. I mean, this thing holds like 17 gallons of water. It's not even counting the rock. It's like an extra 150 pounds that you're moving around. But all in all, very, very simple. Luckily, we weren't on carpet. So previously, we weren't on carpet, so it was relatively easy to move. No huge issues. All the corals look great. The light's been on now for about 24 hours on the tank. Have been feeding them some frozen food because they've been quite neglected for the last couple of days. I'm waiting for the red digi to open up. The purple stylo still a little mad, but otherwise everything looks great. I do have some chaeto morpha in the wave makers from when I took it out, or took the water out and put the water back in. So yeah, I mean, and again, luckily this is a 3-foot tank. Had this tank been any bigger, it would not have been any fun to move. I do need to straighten my light mount out. I need to, excuse me, I need to mount, whoa. I need to mount the stand, equipment stand to my tank stand, so that holds steady. And I need to mount a couple controllers that are in the equipment cabinet. But all in all, happy with it. You step back here, very happy with the flooring and the tank. Hopefully nothing is disturbed. I am filling my RO containers up right now. I'm going to do about a 20-25 gallon water change, just because, you know, I think it'd be good to do a big water change on here, kind of reset things a little bit. It was pretty stressful for everything, so I'm going to quit rambling on here. Appreciate you watching and following along. I know this was a long one about me basically documenting my flooring process, but the tank was involved in that too. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Pelfrey's Reef. Check out the website at pelfrey.net. And I'll catch you on the next one.